G.A.E. Vicarja, a word of greeting to you all, wherever you are in these days leading up to the great Christmas celebration that lies ahead of all of us, that affects all of us in society in different ways. We'll all have our own ways of preparing for Christmas, things we do. We have our own ways of celebrating Christmas. And it means different things to different people for all sorts of different reasons. For some it'll be happy, for some it'll be sad because of those who are not there, or because of bereavements that happened during the year, or whatever else. The shortest day of the year is just past. It can be a midwinter festival for people, whether they're religious or not. But I think for Christians, we're coming with a different perspective. We're coming with very adult themes rather than childish themes. There's the question of a young family far from home, an unplanned pregnancy. We see in Herod then the abuse of power, children being sacrificed in the interests of the strong not being concerned about the little ones who are perishing. And we think of all the wars that are ravishing so many parts of the world, especially the Holy Land, where Jesus was born and grew up. Just want to say a little word about some of the titles that Jesus gets in the Gospel stories. It may help us just focus on something that's important. First of all, he's called Emmanuel, God with us. May seem a simple phrase, but we know the mess that the world is in so many ways, how messy life is for so many people. And Jesus showed during his own time on earth that he was in solidarity with those who felt life was difficult, those who were weighed down by heavy crosses, those whose feet were sore from walking on rough roads. Emmanuel, God with us, is an important reassurance. Then he's given the name Jesus, which means God saves. We do need salvation sometimes from ourselves, from the mess that we make of things, from the bad decisions that we take, from the wrong roads that we turn down. And then he's also called Prince of Peace. It may seem a silly title in a world that's ravished by so much violence on the international front, as well as domestic violence on our streets, abuse of power, injury to people one way or another. Yet Jesus says he is Prince of Peace. So perhaps as we approach the feast of Christmas, we might focus a little bit on some of those themes and say, how can Christians offer something to our world? Not how can we celebrate what we believe, what we like to think, but how can we, in the name of Jesus, be a blessing on the world? First of all, we've had this Jubilee year of hope in the Catholic Church. How can we be a source of hope for the incoming year? Secondly, how can we focus on the need for reconciliation in our own little Northern Ireland society to show it's possible to people around the world who feel that conflict is the only way to resolve difference, or that banning people from our presence, from our midst, from our country, from our island is the only way to create a stable society? How can we be agents of reconciliation and agents of hope? And as Jesus said, peacemakers, for they are blessed. So in these days, as we're leading up to Christmas, can I invite those who feel some allegiance to the Christian churches to come to ceremonies, to come to celebrations, to come to carol service, if perhaps that's all you can come to come to some of the Christmas masses, to avail of the many opportunities that many of our parishes have for the sacrament of reconciliation, for confessions, to find peace with our own past. Can I invite parents at home, particularly those who have children, to find time to talk to the children about what Christmas means to them, help them deepen their own rich experience of celebration and hope and the desire for goodness and blessings and presents. Don't be afraid to find time to talk to our teenagers, not only about the dreams that they have for the future, but about the nightmares that plague so many of them, as we know from the pressures that they suffer. Can we create a little quiet corner, a little quiet space in our homes wherever we live, so that we don't have to be making noise, making celebrations, partying all the time. We can find a space to go and be at peace with ourselves and to be at peace with our God. So in these days leading up to Christmas, I think it's a rich celebration that we can celebrate for 12 days, beginning on the 25th of December and going through until the Feast of the Epiphany on the 6th of January. I hope it's a time of blessing for you. I hope it's a time of hope and healing for you. I hope it can be a time of reconciliation and dreams for you. And as the Diocese of Derry, we're looking forward to 2026, to walking forward into the future, seeing how we can bring the Jesus to our world, who is Emmanuel, God with us, Jesus, the God who saves, the one who is the Prince of Peace. í amreachtaí ar a bhuaigh is na leitheanta seo go dtí an nullag agus an é. Slán agus bannacht. May God bless you in these days and in all the 12 days of Christmas.